This video is going to show you how to do the second type of calculation in your cookie project, which is scaling the recipe to make 30 cookies. So the recipe I had chosen as my example before was the Nestle Toll House cookie recipe. And it says in the recipe that it makes 5 dozen cookies. And then in the previous step, I converted the amount of baking soda that it called for into mass in grams. So what I need to know is how many grams of baking soda, so I'm going to abbreviate that, baking soda, would I need if I wasn't making 5 dozen, if I was making 30 cookies. Well, the first thing I need to do is think of 30 cookies in terms of dozens, since that's the reference for this recipe. So I would first say, well, there are going to be 12 cookies for every 1 dozen. And that lets me stop thinking about individual cookies and start thinking about it in terms of dozens. And then now I can start using this highlighted information to scale the recipe. Well, the recipe makes 5 dozen, and the recipe calls for 4.8 grams of baking soda. So the next thing I would do is say, well, now the dozens cancel out, divide out, and I'm left with grams of baking soda, which is exactly what I wrote down at the beginning that I needed. So I'm going to pull up a calculator now, and I'm going to put the numbers across the top, 30 times 1 if you want to do it, times 4.8. Those are all across the top. And I've got 2 different numbers in the denominator, so I'm going to go with parentheses this time. And I'm going to put divided by parentheses 12 times 5, and then close those parentheses. So anything that was up across the top is being multiplied, and anything down in the bottom is being divided and then multiplied in the parentheses. So I get 2.4. So over here on my lab notebook, how about over here, I would write equals 2.4 grams of baking soda. And then to make this easier to find when we actually go start measuring out ingredients, I think you should highlight that this is how much you're going to be measuring out.